DVD Era TV back at y'all with another one. Today we gonna talk about the time J.R. Writer got shot in his leg in the Bronx. Now let's get into it.
Mixtapes and DVDs is my era.
Facts.
We did it better.
Yep.
Pelly leathers,
Facts.
ACG boots. We 80s babies and early 90s when it got grimy.
real.
I was out of this world, you could not find me unless you check the lobby. Hustling was my hobby. We was lobby boys
Yep.
before Jim Jones. You could catch me in Harlem eating Jimbos.
Now, J.R. Writer is one of the dopest members out of the whole Dipset crew, and even though he had a dope lyrical ability, he'll never get the push like other Dipset members Jim Jones and Juelz Santana. Now, J.R. Writer get most of his recognition for being on DVDs and his mixtape series for the Writer's Block, where he showed off his dope rapping ability and instantly became a fan favorite. Now, even though J.R. Writer was creating a buzz for himself along with the help of his CEO Camron, J.R. would never break through with big mainstream success. Now, J.R. Writer would eventually put out his debut album for History in the Making in 2006 through Koch Records, which peaked at number 25 on the Billboard 200 and number 2 on the top R&B and hip-hop albums and the top rap albums. Now, this album has singles for Grill'em and Bird Call featuring Lil Wayne and Camron and managed to sell close to 30,000 his first week. Now, after J.R. Writer got a taste of a little bit of success in the music industry, J.R. Writer will find himself in some trouble that he might not made it out of. Now, according to J.R. Writer, he said at the time he was hanging outside of a studio in the Bronx that he's been recording at for the last 2 or 3 months, and he was with about 40 guys that he'd been hanging around that time for the last 2 or 3 months, so he felt comfortable. But he said 2 guys hopped out on him and began to fire shots at all 40 of the people that he was with, and they all ran. He said he didn't run because he didn't think that was the thing to do. He thought like, yo, we 40 deep, you know what I mean? We ain't got to run. We could either shoot it out, get it on with them or whatever. But he said when he did decide to run, it was too late. The guy fired one of the shots at him, it missed him, and the other shot hit his leg. Now, he said out of all 40 of the people he was with, only one person thought to come back and get him. Now, he don't know if this was a lineup or if they just got caught slipping, because he said he had his chains on and some of his homeboys had even crazier chains. You get what I'm saying? But them dudes ain't seem like they wanted to rob them. They seemed more like they was trying to kill something because they was just shooting. Now, after this situation, he said he went on to tighten his circle, and luckily it wasn't nothing too serious. The bullet went straight through, and he was good. He was in DR a few weeks or a couple days later or whatever, and he was good. Now, this whole shooting incident actually happened in October 2009. Now, I found an article on this where J.R. Writer explains things a little better, and it's actually from the XXL magazine on their website, so let's get into it. Last Saturday, Harlem rapper J.R. Writer was attacked and shot by 2 men outside a studio he had been recording at in the Bronx. J.R. has now spoken out about the incident and explains what happened that night. He says, I was in front of the studio I've been recording out for the past 3 months in the Bronx when 2 bum dudes stepped at me and a couple of my dudes with guns. For what? I still have no idea. Writer also explains that the men weren't trying to steal anything from him. He says they wasn't trying to rob nothing. They looked more like they was trying to kill something. None of us was strapped. We actually thought we was in a low spot in the BX. On top of that, we were coming there for the past 3 months with no problems, working on my album and new mixtape. When we saw the look in his face and heard him say, now what, it sounded more like a beef than anything else. So we got up out of there, he said. That's when he let off 2 shots our way, which one of the shots hit me and I dropped. He then started shooting at my peoples and running towards them. When I saw that, I was going to play dead, but I said, hell no, and picked myself up and got across the street to where my dog Platt was running back towards my way. The shooter looks back and see me limping across the street with my dog Platt and start running towards us like he was going to finish me off until I heard police sirens and he ran off. Now, this whole situation definitely could have been a lineup. Just because you with 40 guys don't mean they all care about you. You know, half of the time when you with that many people, it'll be friends of other friends and all that. So if it's 40 guys there, 9 chances out of 10, half of them don't really rock with you like that. 10 of them is probably jealous of you. And the other 10 is just being groupies trying to get something out of you. You get what I'm saying? So when you got a little success, you definitely got to keep your circle tight and watch the people you surround yourself around. Because you with 40 people, that's too many people. Like, I could be talking to 5 guys over here, and now the other 5 guys get on their phone and making phone calls to get you robbed or get you killed. Or it could have been a simple case of they being caught slipping. It could have been some guys there that had beef, and that's another thing. The more people you expose yourself around and hang out around with, you take on their problems. Now, say some guys that was there did something to the 2 guys that pulled up on them and started shooting prior to this situation, and they was retaliating. He said when they pulled up, they like, what now? What now? So it's like you don't even know what beef these guys got, and you just surrounding yourself around them. When you got a little success, you achieve something. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta tighten that up. But you know, J.R. Wright is alive and well. He's still doing his thing. He's still nice on the mic. He still get busy. And luckily, he's still around to be able to talk about the situation. But anyway, if you're a fan of these old hip-hop stories, tell a friend to tell a friend about my page. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. All next month, we're going to put our foot back on their neck. So I'm out. 1.